Delicious, scrumptious, rejuvenating, thick, creamy tomato soup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Guru's Cooking. We'll begin by grabbing a spring onion and we'll discard the green stalk and maintain only the decorum for this white bulb of the spring onion. Finely chop this. In case spring onions are not available in your nearest vegetable or supermarket, you can also use the red onions that we use on a daily basis in the Indian kitchen. But I prefer the spring onions to the red onions. We'll now smash in with our fist one garlic clove, extract its skin and finely chop this as well, just like we did for the onions. In case you're using smaller sized garlic cloves, use 3. I'm using a large one, so I used only 1. Herbs are an important integral aspect of this recipe. I'm using cilantro, or as it's called in India, coriander leaves. Wash them and chop them roughly. You can also substitute these with basil leaves. They taste good. It's time for us to now blanch the tomatoes, for which I'm using hot water. When the water is hot, extremely hot, drop in tomatoes into it. Wait for 2 minutes and then immediately transfer these tomatoes into cold, yes, very cold, ice cold water. So what basically happens is these tomatoes leave their skin very easily when you change the temperature like this, and this process is called blanching. The reason we are doing this is because when you peel the skin off the tomatoes and make a puree of them, the soup is gracefully delicious and very silky smooth, as it should be. By looking at this, you can make out how wonderful and red these tomatoes look, very soft without the skin. So don't be lazy, get the skins off. I'm using 8 large tomatoes. If you're using medium sized tomatoes, try to use 10. We'll now dice these tomatoes into 4 equals and puree them in a juicer to a very fine puree. Please don't add any water to this. Just puree it, add it to a sieve, passing it, extracting the juice at the bottom, and the seeds we don't need, you can discard and throw them away. Grab a cooking pot. It's time for us to prepare the soup. A tablespoon of oil and a little dot of butter. Cooking at a low flame. As the butter melts, add in those finely chopped onions here. Saute them, and to saute them, do not saute them to turn them brown. Let's saute them to keep them translucent, that is half cooked. I have with me Himalayan crystal salt. That's nothing but senda namak or rock salt. Add a little bit of that. That'll help you in the process of releasing water from the onions and cooking them soon. Halfway through now, we'll be adding in the garlic and saute this also. Do not cook the garlic completely. Just keep it half cooked. It tastes good that way. Now we'll pour in this amazing tomato puree. Delicious, and still maintaining the flame at low. We will wait for a long time, at least 5 to 8 minutes, or until the tomato puree starts boiling up slowly, cooking at a low flame, releasing its juices, getting the oil and the butter at the top oozing. And to cook it thoroughly, it's also good to add those herbs that we chopped in. Cilantro, or as we call it, what do you call it? Yeah, coriander leaves. Oh yeah, fresh. My friends, if you don't have the coriander leaves, you can use basil, tulsi leaves, or even parsley instead. They all taste good. So like I said in the beginning, when it starts boiling, have patience, and that is when you know, when the oil oozes at the top, that the tomato puree is now cooked properly. So as it's cooking, and a little bit is also sticking at the walls, get rid of that and get it down into the bowl. Maintain a low flame and now add a little bit of salt. I'm using rock salt. If you don't have this, you can also use the sea salt that you use at home. Add 3 spoons of sugar. Yes, to counter the taste of sourness, we use sweetness. believe me, it really tastes good. If you do not add sugar, you won't be able to even drink one sip of the tomato soup because it will be too sour. So the sweetness is really important to help you swallow this amazing taste of this tomato soup and get it into your nerves to help you enjoy this beauty. Also wait now for 2-3 minutes after you add the sugar, and then you will be adding in the rest of the ingredients into the soup. I'm going to add water. I'm going to add around 1.5 cup of fresh drinking water to receive a consistency which looks something like this. Yeah. So now let this come to a boil. This is the time, for the first time, you're going to increase the flame from low, which was till now, to high. And on increasing the flame to high, you will wait for the soup to come to a boil. Then it looks something like this. So cooking the soup is very important. Ingredients are important, but cooking the soup is really important, okay? Now we'll take 1 cup of water. To that we'll add 1 spoon of corn flour and 1/4 teaspoon of white or black pepper powder. And then we'll pour it in gently. Within a minute, your soup will thicken up. So depending on how much corn flour you add, it will thicken up so much. And then finally, you will serve it. Garnish it with fresh cream and a mint leaf. Ladies and gentlemen, tomato soup these winters at your disposal. Enjoy, and do subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button at the bottom. Thank you.